Hello there. Welcome to the Science Owl Station channel. Today, we embark on a journey like no other, where we explore one of nature's greatest mysteries, the migration of whales. Picture this. The vast, endless ocean stretches before you, shimmering under a blanket of stars. In the deep blue, these majestic creatures begin their annual journey, traveling thousands of miles through open seas, crossing hemispheres, and braving the unknown. Why do whales undertake such long and arduous migrations? How do these giants of the ocean navigate the immense expanse of water? Join us as we uncover the secrets of their remarkable voyages. The whale's migration is not just an extraordinary natural event. It's a testament to the deep, unspoken instincts that guide them, a survival story written in the ebb and flow of the oceans. Wherever you are, let the world slow down for a while. Soften your gaze, let the hum of life around you fade, and gently drift with us into tonight's quiet exploration. Migration, in the animal kingdom, is not simply a matter of survival. It is a complex, awe-inspiring phenomenon shaped by the environment, the need for nourishment, and the imperative of procreation. Yet, no migration is as majestic and mysterious as that of the whale. These magnificent creatures travel thousands of miles each year, from cold polar seas to the warmth of tropical waters, engaging in one of the longest and most extraordinary migrations in the animal world. Imagine, for a moment, standing at the edge of a serene beach, watching the horizon stretch endlessly before you. Whales, the largest animals to ever roam the earth, are on their way, on a journey that spans continents, from the icy waters of the Arctic or Antarctic to the warmth of the equator. This incredible migration is not simply an impressive feat of endurance, but a vital aspect of their life cycle. Each year, they repeat this journey, driven by two core needs: food and reproduction. It is this constant rhythm, synchronized with the changing seasons, that brings these marine giants back to the same places, year after year. Whale migration involves a remarkable synchrony of movement across vast distances. In the summer months, whales take full advantage of the abundant feeding grounds near the poles, where plankton, krill, and small fish teem in the cold waters. The whales gorge themselves, building up reserves of fat necessary for the long journey ahead. As the season shifts, they begin their journey toward the warmer waters near the equator, where they breed and give birth. These tropical waters are vital for the survival of their young, offering refuge from the dangers of predators and the harsh cold of polar regions. The babies, born in the warmth of the tropical seas, lack the thick layers of fat necessary to survive in cold waters, making these warm, safe waters the perfect place for the next generation to grow. But how do they know where to go? The secrets of whale navigation are as mysterious as the oceans themselves. Whales seem to possess an incredible ability to find their way across vast stretches of open water. Scientists have long wondered how these creatures, without the aid of maps or compasses, manage to navigate with such precision. The answer, as it turns out, lies in the magnetic fields of the Earth. Whales, like many other migratory animals, appear to use the Earth's magnetic field to guide them along their migratory routes. But that's not all. They also use the sun, stars, and the seafloor's topography to maintain their bearings, creating a mental map of the oceans they travel through. Moreover, their acute sense of hearing allows them to listen to the sounds of the ocean, using sonar-like techniques to detect underwater features and even communicate with each other. What's truly fascinating is that whales don't travel alone. They often form pods, small family groups, or larger congregations, depending on the species. These social structures are essential for their survival, especially for the younger, more vulnerable calves. Whale songs, particularly those of male humpback whales, serve as a form of communication and are thought to play a role in attracting mates. But these songs are not just beautiful melodies. They carry vital information across vast distances, guiding the whales as they journey through the oceans. As we reflect on the complexity and beauty of whale migration, it becomes clear that these creatures are not just navigating a physical journey. They are partaking in a deeper, instinctual voyage that links them to the very rhythms of the earth itself. The cycle of birth, growth, and nourishment that whales undergo is intricately tied to the migration. Female whales, pregnant or nursing, move toward breeding grounds to ensure the safety of their calves, where the warm waters offer protection from predators like the great white shark, which is more common in the colder waters near the poles. Once the calves are born, the nurturing journey continues. The mothers provide nourishment through a rich, fatty milk, giving their young the energy they need to grow strong and learn the ways of the ocean. This unique bond between mother and calf is one of the most touching aspects of whale migration. It's a bond that transcends time, passed down through generations as they navigate the oceans together, learning from the older, wiser members of their pods. It's almost as though the whales themselves are caught in a great cosmic dance, each year following the same path, marked by the celestial bodies and the shifting seasons. It's a rhythm as old as the earth itself, a journey that has been repeated for millions of years. And as the whales make their way across the oceans, they are not just navigating the waters of the earth. They are shaping the waters themselves, bringing nutrients from the deep, enriching the marine ecosystem, and playing an essential role in the global environment. As the whales continue their journey across the endless expanse of the ocean, we are reminded of the immense scale and complexity of their migrations. These creatures, with their elegant grace and undeniable power, glide through waters that are often more vast and more mysterious than we can truly comprehend. The routes they follow are not random, but are deeply embedded in their instincts and life cycles, honed over millennia. To understand the intricacy of their migrations, we must explore the core of their movements, the why, the how, and the profound connection between these magnificent creatures and the very environment that sustains them. Whale migration is not a simple wanderlust or a quest for adventure. It is a critical survival mechanism shaped by two key forces: the need to feed and the need to reproduce. In the cold polar waters, where the sun's light barely penetrates, life teems beneath the surface. The whales know this. It's a familiar, predictable abundance. Rich in krill, plankton, and small fish, the waters near the poles are teeming with food. For the larger species, this is a vital feeding ground, a place where they can build up fat reserves necessary for the long journey ahead. These areas are cold, yes, but they provide the energy needed to fuel their migrations, their journeys to warmer waters, and their return again the next year. Once winter arrives and the temperature dips, the whales begin their incredible trek south. They travel to the tropical and subtropical regions, places that are both familiar and safe, places where they can give birth to their young and nourish them in a protected environment. These warmer waters provide the perfect environment for calves, who are born with no protective blubber to shield them from the cold. The warmer temperatures offer protection from predators like the great white shark, allowing the calves to grow and gain strength before making the return journey north. This migration pattern is not just about reaching distant places. It is about survival, about ensuring the continuation of the species. One might wonder how whales manage to remember these vast routes, these thousands of kilometers they travel each year. The answer lies in their remarkable navigational abilities. Whales have evolved to use multiple natural cues to find their way. They are able to sense the Earth's magnetic field, using it as a compass that guides them across the vast expanses of the ocean. This ability is not unique to whales. Many migratory animals, from birds to sea turtles, rely on the Earth's magnetic forces. But whales also have another advantage: their acute hearing and the ability to communicate through songs and calls. Using sound as a form of navigation, they are able to map their surroundings, detecting underwater features, current flows, and even the distance to their fellow travelers. However, it's not just the whales' incredible physical adaptations that make their migrations so awe-inspiring. It's the sheer scale of their journeys. The distances they travel are extraordinary. The gray whale, for example, undertakes one of the longest migrations of any mammal, traveling from Alaska to Mexico, an incredible 16,000 kilometers each way. For the humpback whale, the migration spans thousands of kilometers, from the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean to the warm seas off the coast of Africa or Australia. These journeys are not undertaken lightly. The whales must be in peak physical condition to survive the long journey, avoiding predators, overcoming harsh weather conditions, and sustaining themselves on a limited diet. To sustain such distances, the whales' bodies are built for endurance. Their large size and streamlined bodies allow them to glide effortlessly through the water, their flippers and tails providing the necessary propulsion to cover these great distances. Their metabolic rate slows during migration, allowing them to conserve energy and make the journey without exhausting their resources. Along the way, they rely on the ocean's rhythms, the currents and tides, the seasonal winds, and the topography of the seabed to guide them. Yet, despite their remarkable resilience, whales are not invincible. They face significant threats along their migratory routes. One of the most significant dangers to whale migration is climate change. Rising sea temperatures are altering ocean currents and food distribution, which can affect the abundance of krill and small fish in the polar feeding grounds. In addition, the melting of the polar ice caps is changing the composition of the water, disrupting habitats and food sources. As the ocean temperatures rise, the whales' migration patterns are thrown into disarray, as they must adjust to new environments that are not as familiar or as reliable as those they've known for centuries. Moreover, human activities pose a grave threat to the whales' ability to migrate safely. Collisions with ships are an all too common danger, especially in busy shipping lanes. The noise pollution from shipping traffic, military sonar, and other human-made sounds in the ocean interfere with the whale's ability to communicate and navigate. These noises can disorient them, preventing them from hearing important calls or echolocation signals. Furthermore, entanglement in fishing gear, ingestion of plastic waste, and pollution from chemicals and oil spills threaten their health and survival. As humans continue to alter the natural environment, whales find themselves caught in a delicate balancing act, fighting against the forces of nature and human impact. For all their grace and majesty, whales are vulnerable creatures. Their migrations are a testament to the beauty and complexity of the natural world, but they are also a reminder of how fragile this balance truly is. As we learn more about these extraordinary journeys, we must recognize our role in preserving the oceans that sustain them. Protecting their migratory routes is not just about saving whales. It's about preserving the delicate ecosystems that depend on their presence and ensuring the survival of the oceans for generations to come. As we continue our journey through the vast oceans alongside these majestic creatures, we begin to understand more deeply the fundamental reasons behind whale migration. While the incredible distances they travel are awe-inspiring, the motivations behind their movements are even more fascinating. There are two primary forces driving these incredible migrations: the need for food and the necessity of reproduction. These seemingly simple needs are intricately woven into the natural rhythms of the earth, and it is through these rhythms that whales find their way across vast and often treacherous waters. Whales spend much of their lives in the cold, nutrient-rich waters of the poles, where the abundance of plankton, krill, and small fish provides them with the nourishment they need to thrive. The cold waters of the Arctic and Antarctic are teeming with life, providing a steady and abundant food source. It's a perfect place for whales to feed, to fatten up for the long migrations ahead. For many species of whales, these polar regions are home base, a place where they can store up the energy needed for their long journey southward. But these areas are not ideal for giving birth. The frigid waters are far too cold for young calves, who are born with minimal fat stores. They rely on the warmth of tropical and subtropical waters to survive, as the warmer temperatures provide them with a safe environment in which they can grow. This is where the second crucial factor in whale migration comes into play: reproduction. The warm waters of the tropics serve as breeding grounds for whales, offering protection from predators, such as the great white shark, who are less likely to venture into these warmer waters. Here, females give birth to their calves in relative safety, nurturing them until they are strong enough to return to the colder feeding grounds. The timing of this migration is not accidental. It is perfectly synchronized with the seasons, following the sun as it moves across the sky. In the northern and southern hemispheres, the seasons dictate when whales must migrate, when to feed, when to mate, and when to give birth. The annual cycle of migration is thus closely linked to the Earth's natural rhythms. As whales take advantage of the plentiful resources available to them in the summer months, and then move to warmer waters during the colder seasons to ensure the survival of their offspring. In these warmer waters, the young calves are given the opportunity to grow and develop the thick layer of fat, or blubber, that will protect them in the colder, more dangerous waters of the polar regions. For several months, the calves stay close to their mothers, nursing on rich, fatty milk that will nourish them and help them grow. The bond between mother and calf is an essential part of the migratory process. It is during these first few months that the calves learn vital skills: swimming, navigating the ocean, and understanding the intricacies of their environment. Once the calves have grown strong enough, they begin their return journey with their mothers, back toward the colder waters of the polar regions. It is a journey of survival not just for the calves, but for the entire species. The migration is a key part of the whale's life cycle, ensuring the next generation is strong, healthy, and ready to continue the cycle of migration that has existed for millions of years. The whale's migration patterns are so deeply ingrained in their biology that they return to the same feeding and breeding grounds year after year, following the same routes their ancestors followed before them. This sense of direction is deeply rooted in their instincts and is reinforced by the Earth's natural cues: magnetic fields, ocean currents, and the changing seasons. It is as if the whales are in tune with the rhythm of the planet itself, moving in harmony with the forces of nature. But this intricate dance is not without its challenges. The migration process, while vital for the survival of the species, is fraught with dangers. The distance alone is daunting. Whales must travel across thousands of kilometers of open ocean, sometimes facing unpredictable weather conditions, dangerous predators, and the ever-present threat of human activity. Yet, despite these challenges, the whales continue their journeys, guided by ancient instincts and the powerful forces of nature. In recent years, however, these long-standing patterns of migration have begun to change. Climate change is altering the very environment the whales rely on for survival. Rising sea temperatures are affecting ocean currents, which in turn is impacting the availability of food in the whales' feeding grounds. As the ice melts in polar regions, the ecosystem that once supported large populations of krill, the primary food source for many whale species, is beginning to break down. This change in food availability can disrupt the whales' migration, forcing them to adjust their routes or even shift the timing of their journeys. In addition to these environmental shifts, human activities are introducing new risks to the whales' already challenging migration. Ship traffic, noise pollution, and entanglement in fishing gear are all significant threats to these animals as they travel through busy shipping lanes. These threats not only endanger individual whales, but also disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystems in which they live. This highlights the urgent need for us to understand and protect the migratory routes of these remarkable animals. Yet, despite these challenges, the whales continue to persist. Their migration is a testament to the resilience and endurance of life on Earth. It is a reminder of the powerful connection between species and the ecosystems that sustain them. And as we witness the awe-inspiring migration of whales, we are reminded of our responsibility to protect the oceans and the creatures that call them home. As we delve deeper into the marvel that is whale migration, it's important to appreciate the diversity of these migrations. Each species of whale follows a unique route, dictated by its biology, environment, and needs. Some species take part in migrations that stretch across entire oceans, while others are more localized in their movements. Regardless of the distance, these migrations are all equally vital, ensuring the survival of each species and maintaining the delicate balance of the marine ecosystem. Among the most well-known of migratory whales is the gray whale. Known for its long journey, the gray whale undertakes one of the most incredible migrations of any mammal, traveling up to 16,000 kilometers each year. This journey takes the gray whale along the western coast of North America, from the cold waters of Alaska to the warmer, subtropical waters off the coast of Mexico. Along the way, the gray whale follows a familiar route, one that has been passed down through generations. These whales have an impressive navigational ability, relying on environmental cues like the sun, ocean currents, and even the coastline to guide them. The gray whale's migration is not just remarkable for the distance it covers, but also for the challenges it faces along the way. The route is fraught with dangers, from busy shipping lanes to encounters with predators. Despite these challenges, the gray whale continues to migrate along the same path year after year. Their journey is a testament to the power of instinct, tradition, and survival. Along the way, mothers give birth to their calves, nursing them in the safe, warm waters before embarking on the return trip northward, where they can once again feed in the nutrient-rich waters of the polar regions. Equally awe-inspiring is the humpback whale migration. Humpbacks, known for their haunting, beautiful songs, travel from the frigid waters of Antarctica to the warmer, tropical seas of the Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic Oceans. These journeys are no less impressive, covering thousands of kilometers, often traveling in groups that form loose social structures. The humpback migration is remarkable not only for the distance covered but for the social behavior displayed along the way. These whales are known for their complex communication through songs, which can last for hours and be heard over vast distances. Male humpbacks sing in an elaborate mating display, using their songs to communicate with other whales, possibly to assert dominance or to attract potential mates. These songs are a symbol of the deep connection whales have with their environment and each other. While the gray and humpback whales are well known for their long migrations, they are not the only species that migrates. The sperm whale, for example, follows a migration pattern that is more localized but no less impressive. Sperm whales do not travel as far as some other species, but their migrations are still crucial to their survival. These whales are typically found in the deep, nutrient-rich waters of the ocean, where they dive to great depths in search of squid and other prey. While their migration routes are shorter, they are still an important part of the ocean's ecosystem, helping to maintain balance in the marine food chain. One of the most fascinating aspects of whale migration is the variation in these journeys. Different species of whales, while following similar migratory patterns, often have their own unique routes. For instance, some populations of humpback whales are known to travel from the coast of Alaska to the Hawaiian Islands, while others travel from the coasts of Africa to the Indian Ocean. Similarly, gray whales on the eastern side of the Pacific Ocean follow a route that takes them along the coasts of North and Central America, while those on the western side travel from Russia to Mexico. This geographical diversity is a testament to the adaptability and flexibility of whale migration patterns, shaped by the environment and the specific needs of each species, regardless of the route or the distance traveled. These migrations are a crucial part of the life cycle of every whale species. They are not just long journeys across the ocean. They are vital quests for survival, for sustenance, and for the continuation of the species. The migration ensures that whales can feed in the nutrient-rich waters of the poles, give birth in the safety of warm, predator-free waters, and continue the cycle of life that has existed for millions of years. It is a pattern of life that is as old as the oceans themselves, and one that is deeply interconnected with the rhythm of the planet. Yet, as we marvel at the incredible distances whales travel and the complexity of their journeys, we must also recognize the challenges they face. Climate change, pollution, and human activity all pose significant threats to these ancient migratory routes. Rising sea temperatures, changing food availability, and increased shipping traffic all disrupt the delicate balance that whales depend on. In the face of these challenges, it is more important than ever to protect the migratory paths of these incredible creatures, ensuring that they can continue to navigate the oceans safely for generations to come. The migration of whales is a story of endurance, survival, and beauty, a story that has been unfolding for millions of years. It is a reminder of the incredible adaptability of life on Earth and the power of nature to shape the lives of its creatures. As we continue to learn about these magnificent journeys, we are reminded of our responsibility to protect the oceans, to safeguard the migratory routes, and to ensure that these remarkable creatures can continue to thrive in the wild. As we explore further into the world of whale migration, one of the most intriguing aspects that continues to captivate researchers and enthusiasts alike is the navigational mystery of how these giants of the ocean find their way across such vast distances. For centuries, this ability was a puzzle that many sought to solve. How could these creatures, seemingly so vast and yet so elusive, navigate the open oceans with such precision, crossing thousands of miles and returning to the same breeding and feeding grounds year after year? The answer lies in a combination of ancient instincts and remarkable natural tools. The first of these tools is Earth's magnetic field. Just like many migratory animals, such as birds, turtles, and salmon, whales appear to possess the ability to sense the magnetic field of the Earth, using it to guide them on their long journeys. This geomagnetic sense allows whales to determine their location and navigate across vast stretches of open water. For centuries, scientists have studied how animals can sense these magnetic fields, but only in recent decades have studies on whales provided concrete evidence of this ability. Whales likely use the magnetic field as a compass, orienting themselves and following a set migratory path across the globe. But magnetic fields are not the only environmental cues that whales rely on. The sun and the stars also play a critical role in navigation, especially for those species traveling along fixed migratory routes. Whales have a natural sense of the time of day, and by using the position of the sun, they can orient themselves and maintain their course. At night, the stars serve as another navigational aid, offering a celestial map that whales can follow, much like ancient sailors did. In this sense, whales possess an innate knowledge of the natural world, guided by the rhythm of the Earth itself. The seafloor and coastline also provide essential clues for navigation. As whales swim through the ocean, they are constantly monitoring the underwater topography, using the contours of the ocean floor as a map. The sound waves they generate, often in the form of clicks and songs, bounce off the seafloor and other underwater features, giving whales valuable information about their location and the landscape below them. This echolocation, or sonar, is an incredibly sophisticated tool that allows whales to detect objects and other animals, but it also helps them navigate by creating a detailed auditory map of the ocean. Sound plays an even more significant role in the lives of whales. Their ability to communicate using sound is not just a means of social interaction or mating. It's also a crucial element in their navigation system. Whales are capable of producing complex songs, particularly during the breeding season. These songs, often heard over long distances, are believed to serve multiple purposes: to attract mates, to communicate with other members of the pod, and perhaps even to help navigate. The sounds produced by whales can travel across vast distances through the ocean, creating an invisible network of communication that spans the globe. These songs may carry vital information about the whale's location, direction, and even the presence of predators or other threats. Interestingly, recent studies suggest that the ability of whales to navigate using sound may be even more advanced than we once thought. Researchers have discovered that some whale species, such as the humpback whale, use their songs not only for social bonding and mating, but also as a way to maintain their orientation during migration. The frequency of their songs may shift depending on the environment, providing clues about the whale's location and even the changes in water temperature or current. These sophisticated songs are a form of sonar, a natural form of echolocation that allows whales to see the world around them using sound waves. This incredible ability to navigate using both physical and environmental cues, combined with an exceptional understanding of their surroundings, means that whales are not simply wandering aimlessly across the oceans. They are following a carefully mapped route, honed through millions of years of evolution. The rhythm of their migrations, the consistency of their return to specific breeding and feeding grounds, is a testament to the power of nature's design. Whales, it seems, are not only masters of survival, they are also masters of navigation, guided by a blend of instinct, sound, and the Earth's magnetic field. But despite these remarkable tools, the whale's navigation system is not without its challenges. The oceans are vast, and the journey is not without its hazards. Changing environmental conditions, such as rising sea temperatures, altered ocean currents, and shifting food supplies, are all disrupting traditional migratory routes. Even human-made disruptions, such as noise pollution and ship traffic, can interfere with whales' ability to navigate effectively. In these uncertain times, understanding how whales navigate and what they rely on for guidance has never been more crucial. As we continue to study these incredible creatures and their remarkable migratory journeys, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life that connects all species. The whale's ability to navigate the vast, unpredictable oceans is a symbol of nature's ingenuity, a reminder of how deeply connected life on Earth truly is. Each year, as these magnificent creatures make their journey, they are not only following ancient paths, they are writing a story that is as old as the Earth itself. And in this story, we, as caretakers of the planet, must play our part in ensuring that their paths remain open, free from the obstacles and threats that now challenge their existence. As we continue to follow the whales on their epic journey across the oceans, it becomes clear that these migrations are more than just solo voyages. They are deeply social affairs. While some whale species travel alone, many species engage in a complex web of social interactions during their migrations. These interactions, whether between mother and calf or among pod members, provide essential support, not just for survival, but for the well-being of the entire group. The social structure of whales plays an integral role in their migration, influencing how they communicate, cooperate, and thrive as they move across vast distances. In particular, the bond between a mother whale and her calf is one of the most fascinating aspects of whale migration. For mothers, the migration is not just about finding the best feeding or breeding grounds. It's also about ensuring the safety and growth of their offspring. From the moment a calf is born, the mother takes on the role of protector, guiding her calf through the perilous waters of the ocean. The first months of a calf's life are critical. Without the thick layers of fat that adults have to insulate them from the cold, calves are vulnerable to the chill of the polar waters. The warmer, tropical waters where they are born provide a safe environment in which they can grow strong and develop the insulating blubber that will protect them on future journeys. During the migration, mothers nurse their calves with rich, fatty milk, which is packed with nutrients that help the young whales grow quickly. These first months of life are spent close to the mother, learning the essential skills needed to survive in the ocean. Calves learn to swim, to navigate the vast ocean, and to communicate with their fellow pod members through the complex songs and calls that whales are known for. The mother and calf's bond is not only one of protection but also one of education, as the young whale learns vital survival skills that will guide it through its own migratory journeys in the years to come. The importance of communication during migration cannot be overstated. Whales, particularly those like the humpback whale, are known for their elaborate songs, which they use to communicate with one another during migration. These songs, often sung by males during the breeding season, are a form of vocal display that serves multiple purposes. For one, they help males attract females, but they also serve as a means of communication among whales over vast distances. The songs can carry for miles across the ocean, allowing whales to maintain contact with one another, even in the open seas. These vocalizations are incredibly complex, with different species of whales producing different songs and calls that vary by region. They are a true testament to the sophisticated social behavior of these animals. In addition to songs, whales use a range of other sounds to communicate and navigate. These include clicks, whistles, and grunts, each serving a specific function in whale communication. Some of these sounds are used to maintain contact with pod members, while others are used for echolocation, helping whales detect objects or other animals in the dark depths of the ocean. The role of sound in whale migration is integral, not just for navigation, but for maintaining the social bonds that are so crucial to their survival. Interestingly, not all whales migrate in the same way. While some species travel in large pods, others, like the sperm whale, often travel alone or in smaller groups. The sperm whale's social structure is less rigid than that of some other species, and they do not follow a fixed migratory route. Instead, their migration tends to be more flexible, driven by the availability of food and other environmental factors. Despite this, sperm whales also rely on communication to find each other during their migrations. Even solitary whales are capable of hearing the calls of others and can communicate over long distances using their sophisticated vocalizations. The differences in social behavior between species of whales highlight the diversity of whale migrations. Some species, like the humpback whale, rely heavily on social structures and intricate communication methods, while others, like the sperm whale, adopt a more solitary approach. Yet, regardless of their social structure, all whales depend on their communication skills and social bonds to successfully navigate the challenges of their migrations. In fact, the social structure of a whale pod can make all the difference in a successful migration. Pods provide protection for the younger and more vulnerable whales, while adult males often take on leadership roles, guiding the group through treacherous waters. The relationships between pod members are vital, and they are reinforced by the sounds and songs that whales use to communicate with one another. In some cases, pod members will even cooperate to ensure the safety of the group, working together to protect one another from predators or other dangers encountered along the migration route. These social bonds extend beyond just the immediate family. For some whale species, entire pods may come together during migration, sharing their journeys and forming temporary associations with other groups. These alliances, often formed for breeding purposes, can strengthen the social fabric of whale communities, allowing them to survive the long migrations and face the challenges of the open ocean together. However, as we've seen with other aspects of whale migration, human impact is threatening these essential social structures. Ship traffic, noise pollution, and fishing gear are all affecting whales' ability to communicate and navigate effectively. The interference of human activities, particularly the rising levels of ocean noise pollution, has become a major concern for researchers. Loud sounds from ships, sonar, and industrial activities are not only disrupting whales' ability to communicate, but may also be affecting their ability to find food, detect predators, and navigate across vast distances. Despite these challenges, whales continue their journeys, relying on the deep, ancient instincts that guide them. As we continue to learn more about the role of social behavior in whale migration, it is clear that preserving these communication channels and the social structures that support them is just as important as safeguarding the physical environment of the oceans. Protecting these creatures means protecting the intricate networks of relationships that allow them to thrive as they travel across the seas, from one feeding ground to the next. As we venture further into the lives of migrating whales, it becomes clear that their journey is far from a simple passage between feeding and breeding grounds. It is intricately tied to the very rhythm of their life cycle. Each migration serves a purpose beyond simply moving from one place to another. These movements are deeply woven into the fabric of whale reproduction, growth, and survival. The journey is not just an annual trek. It is a transformative cycle that encompasses birth, growth, learning, and renewal. For female whales, migration is a sacred part of the reproductive process. The timing of migration is critical, as these whales travel to warmer, safer waters to give birth. This migration typically occurs in the winter months, when the polar feeding grounds are less productive and the cold waters are inhospitable to newborns. The tropics, with their gentle warmth, provide an ideal environment for calving. Here, the mother will give birth to a calf, ensuring that the young whale has the best chance to survive and thrive. The process is not only about the physical birth of the calf, but also about the emotional and social development that takes place during this journey. Once born, the calf's survival depends entirely on its mother's care and guidance. In the early stages of life, the calf relies on its mother for protection, warmth, and nourishment. The rich, fatty milk that the mother provides is essential to the calf's survival and growth. The milk helps the calf develop the thick layers of blubber it needs to endure the colder waters it will eventually return to. It is in these early months that the calf learns the critical survival skills that will allow it to navigate the vast ocean on its own in the future. The calf learns how to swim, how to communicate with other whales through songs and calls, and how to find its place within the pod. The bond between mother and calf is profound, built not only on the need for survival, but on the intricate dance of migration that binds them. The mother's role doesn't end with the birth of the calf. She is also the guide, teaching her young how to traverse the ocean and adapt to the challenges it presents. As they journey together, the mother will lead the calf toward the feeding grounds, taking it to the nutrient-rich waters of the polar regions where the calf will learn to feed itself. These waters are essential for the whale's growth and development, as they provide the sustenance needed to build the energy reserves necessary for future migrations. The migration is, therefore, a multi-stage process that is as much about education as it is about survival. For the calves, these migrations represent a rite of passage, a journey from the safety of the warm waters of birth to the vast, open expanses of the polar feeding grounds. Along the way, they learn how to survive in the harsh world of the ocean. Each wave, each song, and each interaction with the pod becomes a lesson in how to thrive in this complex environment. It is in these formative years that the calf develops the instincts that will guide it through its own future migrations. As the calf matures and grows stronger, it begins to participate more fully in the migratory journey. By the time it is ready to venture out on its own, it has already learned the fundamental skills needed to navigate the ocean. How to read the magnetic fields, how to follow the sun and stars, and how to communicate with other whales. It's a journey that has been passed down for generations, an unbroken chain of knowledge and tradition. The migration itself becomes not just a journey of physical endurance, but also one of cultural continuity, a passing down of knowledge from one generation to the next. The whale's migratory routes are not just physical paths across the globe. They are ancestral highways, trodden by countless generations of whales who have passed down their wisdom through the act of migration. In many ways, the whale's life cycle is a reflection of the ocean's cycles, the ebb and flow of tides, the turning of the seasons, and the unchanging rhythm of life that governs the marine environment. These migrations, which span thousands of miles and take months to complete, are deeply connected to the whale's biological clocks. As the seasons change, so too do the needs of the whales. In the summer months, they focus on feeding, building the strength and energy they will need to survive the winter months. In the winter, they focus on reproduction and nurturing the next generation. This delicate balance ensures the continuation of the species, with each migration marking the passage of time and the cycle of life. Whale migration, therefore, is not just an event. It is a continuum, a perpetual rhythm that sustains the species. The mothers, the calves, and the entire pod work together to ensure that the journey continues, year after year, season after season. It is a cycle that reflects the deep interconnectedness of all life in the ocean and the delicate balance that sustains it. However, this delicate cycle is now under threat. As we face the challenges of climate change, pollution, and human activity, the very rhythms that guide these migrations are being disrupted. Rising ocean temperatures, changing currents, and increasing levels of noise pollution are altering the environment in ways that make it harder for whales to thrive. For the first time in millions of years, whales are facing an uncertain future, with their migratory patterns threatened by forces beyond their control. To protect these incredible creatures, we must recognize the importance of their migrations, not just as a biological event, but as a cultural and ecological one. The migration of whales is more than a story of survival. It is a story of renewal, of life passing from one generation to the next, of knowledge being handed down through the act of migration itself. If we are to ensure the future of these magnificent creatures, we must safeguard the migratory paths they rely on, ensuring that the oceans remain a place of safety and sustenance for future generations of whales. As the rhythm of the seasons continues, the whale's migration follows a predictable pattern that mirrors the cyclical nature of life itself. In the summer months, when the polar regions are bathed in constant daylight, the whales arrive at their feeding grounds. These cold waters, rich with nutrients, provide an abundance of food: plankton, krill, small fish, all of which are essential for the whales to stockpile the energy they need to survive the long migration ahead. For the whales, the summer months are a time of indulgence, a chance to fuel up and prepare for the coming journey. This period of feeding is not merely about survival. It's a crucial part of the whale's life cycle. The whales' bodies rely on these reserves of fat to power their long migrations. Without the abundance of food provided by the polar seas, their journey south to the warmer waters would be impossible. Here, in the chilly waters of the poles, the whales gorge themselves, their bodies becoming sleek and strong, ready to face the long months ahead. When winter arrives and the cold of the poles becomes even harsher, the whales begin their southward journey. This is when the feeding grounds are left behind and the focus shifts from sustenance to reproduction. The tropical waters beckon, offering a refuge from the cold and a safe haven for whales to mate and give birth. These warm, shallow waters provide the perfect environment for young calves, whose bodies are not yet developed enough to handle the frigid polar seas. The tropical waters offer protection from predators like the great white shark, and the safety of these waters ensures that the calves have a better chance at survival. The migration southward is a journey of rebirth, a time for the whales to renew their species. As they travel towards these warmer waters, their bodies are prepared for a different kind of energy expenditure, reproduction. The males, especially the dominant bulls, engage in elaborate displays of song and behavior to attract mates, singing complex, haunting melodies that can be heard for miles. These songs are not just for communication. They are part of the whale's courtship ritual, an essential part of the reproductive process. Once the whales have reached their breeding grounds, the next stage of the cycle begins, the birth of the calves. For the mothers, this is the culmination of months of preparation. The warm waters provide a safe and nurturing environment for the calves, where they can be born without the threat of predators or the risk of freezing in the cold ocean currents. The mothers give birth in the safety of these sheltered waters, where they can nurse their calves and help them develop the thick blubber they will need to survive in the colder waters of the feeding grounds. During this time, the bond between mother and calf is crucial. The calves are entirely dependent on their mothers for warmth, food, and protection. The milk produced by the mother is rich in fat, providing the energy the calf needs to grow and develop. As the calf grows stronger, it will begin to learn the ways of the ocean, relying on the mother's guidance to navigate through the vast, open seas. These early months are essential for the calves' survival, as they learn the necessary skills to survive the challenges of the ocean and become part of the Great Migration themselves. The whale's migration is a continual cycle of life, one that is intricately linked to the health of the oceans. As the whales travel south to breed, they will eventually begin their return journey to the poles. By the time they reach the polar regions once again, the calves have grown stronger and more capable of enduring the cold waters. They are now ready to face the challenges of the ocean on their own, preparing to take part in the annual migration that will continue for generations to come. This cycle, repeated year after year, is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of these magnificent creatures. The rhythm of their migrations is more than just an instinctual response to seasonal changes. It is a deep, inherent pattern that is interwoven with the very fabric of the earth. The whale's movements are in tune with the changing tides, the shifting winds, and the turning of the seasons. Their migrations are not just journeys across vast distances. They are journeys through time itself, connecting generations of whales, each one carrying with it the wisdom of the species. However, as we face the challenges of the modern world, this delicate balance is under threat. Climate change, pollution, and human interference are disrupting the migratory routes and habitats that whales have relied on for millions of years. Rising ocean temperatures are shifting food sources, and the changing dynamics of ocean currents are making it more difficult for whales to find the sustenance they need. The increase in shipping traffic, underwater noise, and entanglement in fishing gear are all hazards that make the migration even more perilous. These threats highlight the urgent need to protect whale migration routes. The health of the oceans is crucial not just for whales, but for the entire planet. The whale's role in the marine ecosystem is vital, helping to maintain the balance of life in the ocean by transporting nutrients and supporting the food chain. Protecting their migratory paths is not just about ensuring the survival of whales. It is about safeguarding the health of the oceans and the future of all life on Earth. As we witness the incredible migrations of these giants of the sea, we are reminded of the fragility of our natural world. The story of whale migration is not just one of survival. It is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the ongoing dance between life and the environment. It is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things and the responsibility we have to protect the delicate balance that sustains us all. The whales, with their ancient rhythms and remarkable journeys, are a symbol of the resilience of nature itself. Their migrations carry the hopes of generations, and it is our duty to ensure that they continue for the health of the oceans and the well-being of our planet. As we approach the middle of our exploration into the world of whale migration, it's important to acknowledge the increasingly urgent threats that these incredible journeys face. While the natural rhythms of migration have sustained whales for millions of years, these patterns are now being disrupted by the profound effects of climate change. The warming of the oceans, shifting food availability, and the overall degradation of marine ecosystems are all altering the very foundation of whale migration. These changes present a new challenge for whales, one that threatens not only their survival, but the delicate balance of the ecosystems they support. The warming of the oceans has caused significant shifts in the migratory patterns of whales. As the polar regions warm, the ice sheets melt, and the cold, nutrient-rich waters that once teemed with life begin to change. This has a profound impact on the food sources that whales rely on during their migrations. Species like krill, the primary food source for many whale species, are highly sensitive to temperature changes. As ocean temperatures rise, krill populations are being pushed into new areas, altering the distribution of food that whales depend on for their survival. These changes are forcing whales to adapt in ways that may not always be sustainable. As their feeding grounds become less reliable, whales are being forced to travel further or adjust the timing of their migrations. This can lead to increased stress on their bodies, as they may struggle to find enough food to sustain themselves throughout their long journeys. In some cases, whales may be forced to extend their migrations, covering even longer distances in search of food, which could lead to exhaustion or increased vulnerability to predators. The disruption of food sources isn't the only challenge that whales face in an increasingly warmer world. The melting ice and changing temperatures are also altering the structure of the ocean's ecosystems, creating new challenges for whale calves. Without the dense ice cover, which helps to maintain stable marine environments, the habitats in which calves are born and raised are being altered. In the past, the warm waters of the tropics provided a stable, protected environment for the young to grow. But with the shifting of these waters, the safety once offered by the tropics is now under threat. This can expose young whales to new predators and make it more difficult for them to gain the fat reserves they need for future migrations. Moreover, the oceans themselves are becoming increasingly polluted. The rise in human activity in the oceans, shipping, fishing, oil extraction, and other industrial processes, has led to an increase in ocean noise. This noise, caused by ships, sonar systems, and underwater construction, disrupts the communication systems that whales rely on for navigation and social interaction. The whale's sophisticated use of sound for echolocation and communication is being drowned out by the cacophony of human-made noises. This interference makes it harder for whales to navigate, find food, and communicate with each other, ultimately affecting their ability to migrate successfully. Whales also face the danger of entanglement in fishing gear, another human-induced threat. Fishing nets, lines, and traps, while providing sustenance for people, have become one of the most dangerous obstacles in the ocean for whales. The entanglement of whales in these nets can lead to injury, disability, and even death. Whales that become entangled are unable to continue their migrations and are often trapped in one location, unable to access the resources they need to survive. Perhaps one of the most significant threats to whale migration is the increase in ship traffic. As global shipping continues to expand, the oceans have become busier, and the risk of collisions between ships and whales has risen dramatically. Ship strikes are a major cause of injury and death for whales, especially in busy shipping lanes where whales migrate through narrow paths. The combination of noise pollution and the physical risk of collisions makes human activity a significant hazard for these already vulnerable creatures. The consequences of these threats are far-reaching. When whales are unable to complete their migrations or suffer from disruptions in their life cycles, the entire marine ecosystem is impacted. Whales play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of marine life by transferring nutrients between the ocean's different regions. As they travel from the feeding grounds to the breeding grounds, they transport essential nutrients from the deep, cold waters to the warm, shallow areas where they give birth. Their feces, rich in iron, provides a vital source of nutrients for plankton, which forms the base of the entire marine food web. Without whales, these nutrients would not reach the areas that depend on them for the growth of plankton, which in turn supports the entire food chain. Furthermore, the loss of whales could lead to a reduction in biodiversity, as their presence helps maintain healthy populations of fish and other marine life. Without the whales to act as a keystone species, the entire structure of the ocean's ecosystems could begin to unravel. It's clear that the protection of whale migration routes is not just about saving the whales themselves, but about ensuring the health of the oceans as a whole. So, what can we do to protect these magnificent creatures and their migrations? The first step is to reduce the impact of climate change. By addressing the root causes of global warming and working to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, we can help to slow the warming of the oceans and stabilize the ecosystems that whales depend on. We must also work to reduce ocean noise pollution by implementing stricter regulations on shipping and industrial activities. Quieting the oceans is a critical part of helping whales navigate safely and communicate with one another. Additionally, we must protect the migratory routes of whales through international cooperation. As whales migrate across vast stretches of ocean, they pass through many different countries' waters, making it difficult to protect them in one region alone. It is essential that nations come together to create protected areas and migratory corridors that allow whales to travel freely and safely without the threat of ship strikes, pollution, or other human-induced dangers. Efforts to reduce fishing gear entanglements are also critical. By developing and enforcing regulations to prevent whales from becoming trapped in nets and lines, we can reduce one of the most significant hazards to whale migration. Similarly, by investing in sustainable fishing practices, we can ensure that the marine ecosystem remains healthy and balanced, with enough resources for whales and other marine life to thrive. Ultimately, the protection of whale migration routes is not just about saving these creatures. It's about preserving the intricate web of life that depends on the oceans. Whales are vital to the health of the marine environment, and their migrations are an integral part of the cycle of life on Earth. As stewards of the planet, it is our responsibility to protect these incredible creatures and ensure that their migrations continue for generations to come. As we continue to explore the challenges faced by whales during their migrations, it's crucial to take a step back and examine the broader human impact on these incredible journeys. While climate change, pollution, and ship strikes are some of the most pressing threats, the sheer scope of human activities in the oceans is vast, and each of these impacts compounds the others. The ocean, which whales have navigated for millions of years, is now undergoing rapid transformation due to human activity, and with it, the migratory routes of whales are being increasingly disrupted. This poses a significant challenge, not just for whales, but for the broader marine ecosystem that depends on the health and balance of the oceans. One of the most significant threats to whales' ability to migrate safely is the ever-expanding presence of shipping traffic. The global shipping industry has grown exponentially in recent decades, with ships transporting goods across the world's oceans at an unprecedented rate. These ships often travel through the same waters that whales rely on for their migration, particularly in busy shipping lanes that overlap with important whale migratory routes. This increase in ship traffic is a major cause of collisions between whales and ships, which can result in injury or death. Even if a whale is not struck directly by a ship, the noise from these vessels can disrupt their ability to communicate, navigate, and even find food. The danger posed by shipping traffic is particularly acute for whales during their migration. As whales travel through these busy routes, they are vulnerable to being struck by large vessels, especially in areas where ship traffic is dense. This threat is not just limited to large commercial ships, but also extends to smaller boats and yachts that may not even realize they are posing a risk to these majestic creatures. The growing congestion of shipping lanes has made it increasingly difficult for whales to navigate without encountering human-made hazards. This not only affects the individual whales that are involved in these collisions, but also has long-term consequences for the populations as a whole, as injuries or deaths may disrupt breeding and affect the overall health of the species. But ship strikes are not the only issue. The constant noise from ships, sonar systems, and other industrial activities has created a kind of acoustic pollution in the oceans. Whales rely heavily on sound to communicate, navigate, and locate food, especially in the vast, dark depths of the ocean. The intense noise from human activities can interfere with their ability to hear and respond to important sounds. In particular, the high-pitched noise from ship engines and sonar systems can mask the sounds that whales use for echolocation, making it difficult for them to locate prey and even communicate with one another over long distances. This acoustic disturbance can lead to confusion and disorientation, especially during migration when whales need to stay connected to their pod members and their navigational cues. The disruption of this critical sense could make whales more susceptible to predators, cause them to veer off course, or even force them to abandon their migratory routes altogether. Another critical factor that endangers whale migration is the widespread pollution of the oceans. The oceans are increasingly becoming a dumping ground for a variety of harmful substances, including plastics, oil, and toxic chemicals. These pollutants not only affect the health of the whales, but also disrupt the delicate balance of the marine ecosystem. Whales, especially those that rely on the nutrient-rich waters of the poles, are particularly vulnerable to pollution. The small organisms that whales feed on, such as krill and plankton, are often contaminated with toxic substances, which then accumulate in the whales' bodies as they consume them. These toxins can weaken the whales' immune systems, reduce their reproductive success, and in some cases even cause death. One of the most visible threats to whales, particularly in coastal areas, is the problem of plastic pollution. Whales are often found with plastic debris in their stomachs, either accidentally consumed or tangled in the waste. These plastics not only pose an immediate choking hazard, but can also lead to long-term health problems for the whales, including malnutrition, internal injuries, and infections. The accumulation of plastic in the oceans has reached critical levels, and the debris can travel long distances, ultimately ending up in the migratory routes of whales. The ingestion of plastic can cause blockages in the whales' digestive systems, preventing them from getting the nutrients they need to sustain themselves during migration. The ingestion of plastics and other pollutants is not the only threat posed by human activity in the oceans. Entanglement in fishing gear, particularly nets and lines, is a major cause of injury and death for whales. While fishing is a vital source of food and livelihood for many around the world, it has a dark side. Whales often become entangled in fishing gear that is left behind or discarded in the ocean. This can lead to severe injuries, including deep cuts, broken bones, and even drowning. In some cases, whales are unable to free themselves from the gear and are left to struggle as they continue their migration, unable to feed or reproduce properly. This not only affects individual whales, but can disrupt the reproductive success of entire populations. Furthermore, the problem of noise pollution, shipping strikes, and pollution is compounded by the increasing human encroachment on whale habitats. Coastal development, oil drilling, and other industrial activities are further disrupting the delicate ecosystems that whales rely on. The loss of natural habitats, such as feeding grounds and breeding areas, is putting additional pressure on already vulnerable populations of whales. In some regions, the destruction of key habitats has forced whales to adapt to new areas, which may not be as rich in food or as safe from predators. Despite the significant challenges whales face, there is hope. Conservation efforts around the world are beginning to make a difference. International treaties and agreements, such as the International Whaling Commission, IWC, and the creation of marine protected areas, are helping to safeguard whale populations and their migratory routes. Governments, scientists, and conservationists are working together to reduce the impact of human activity in the oceans and to protect these vital ecosystems. Whales are also receiving increasing attention from the public, with whale watching becoming a booming industry that helps raise awareness and funds for their protection. By reducing the impacts of climate change, curbing pollution, and enforcing stricter regulations on shipping and fishing, we can help ensure that whales continue their migrations for generations to come. These efforts will not only benefit whales, but also the entire marine ecosystem, ensuring that the oceans remain healthy and thriving. Whales are keystone species, and their preservation is integral to the well-being of the entire planet. It's clear that the path forward will require global cooperation and action. We must continue to invest in research, protection, and restoration efforts to protect whale migration routes, ensuring that these incredible creatures are able to follow the ancient paths that have sustained them for millions of years. The future of whale migration is not just about the survival of whales. It's about the health of our oceans, the health of our planet, and the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. As we venture deeper into the realm of whale migration, we now turn to the important role that science and research play in understanding, tracking, and ultimately protecting these remarkable creatures. Over the years, advances in technology have opened up new avenues for studying whale migrations in ways that were once unimaginable. From satellite tagging to DNA analysis, researchers now have tools at their disposal that allow them to track the movements of individual whales across vast distances, providing unprecedented insight into their journeys. One of the most powerful tools used in modern whale research is satellite tagging. By attaching small, lightweight satellite transmitters to whales, scientists can track their movements in real time as they travel across the oceans. These tags send data on the whale's location, depth, and even the temperature of the water it's swimming through, providing researchers with a comprehensive view of the whale's migration. This technology has revolutionized our understanding of whale behavior and migration patterns, allowing us to map out the precise routes whales take during their journeys. Some of the most remarkable discoveries have come from satellite tagging efforts, revealing unexpected migration routes and showing just how far whales are willing to travel in search of food and safe breeding grounds. In addition to satellite tracking, researchers use other forms of tagging to gain further insights into whale migration. Acoustic tags, for example, are designed to record the sounds produced by whales and transmit them to researchers. This allows scientists to track whale calls over long distances, providing valuable information on whale communication, social interactions, and even their movements. These acoustic tags have helped researchers learn that some species of whales, such as humpback whales, communicate with each other across vast distances, using their songs as a form of navigation and social bonding. This technology also helps researchers identify key habitats and migration corridors that whales rely on, which is critical for conservation efforts. Another important method used by scientists to study whale migration is the identification of individual whales. Just as humans have unique fingerprints, whales have distinct markings on their bodies that can be used to identify them. For instance, the dorsal fins of some whale species have unique scars, shapes, and features that allow researchers to identify individual whales. By taking photographs of these fins and matching them with existing databases, scientists can track individual whales over time, building a comprehensive picture of their movements and behavior. This technique is particularly useful for studying species that travel in groups, like humpback whales, as it allows researchers to follow specific individuals and understand their role within the pod. Alongside these field-based techniques, molecular biology is also contributing to our understanding of whale migration. By analyzing DNA from tissue samples, researchers can determine the genetic makeup of whales and track the movement of different populations. This helps scientists better understand how different whale populations are connected, which is vital for conservation efforts. It can also shed light on important questions regarding the genetic health of populations, their ability to adapt to changing environments, and how they might respond to threats like climate change or human interference. Additionally, the study of hormones in whale tissue can provide insights into the reproductive cycles of these animals, which plays a critical role in understanding their migration. By collecting samples from skin, blubber, or even exhaled breath, scientists can detect hormones that indicate when a whale is pregnant, giving birth, or in estrus. This information helps researchers pinpoint the timing of whale births, allowing them to study the factors that influence reproduction and to better protect the breeding grounds that are vital to the species' survival. Hydrophones, underwater microphones, are another important tool in whale research. These devices are deployed in the oceans to listen to the sounds of whales as they communicate, sing, and navigate. Hydrophones allow scientists to track the songs of humpback whales, which are known to produce complex vocalizations that can travel hundreds of miles underwater. These songs are more than just a form of communication. They play an essential role in maintaining the social structure of whale pods and are believed to be involved in mating rituals. By listening to these songs, researchers can learn more about the behavior and social dynamics of whales, gaining valuable insights into their migration patterns and social interactions. Beyond the cutting-edge technologies used to track and study whales, one of the most significant advancements in whale research has been the ability to share data on a global scale. Through collaborative efforts between research organizations, conservation groups, and government agencies, data on whale migrations is being shared and analyzed across borders. This international collaboration is crucial because whales do not adhere to human-imposed boundaries. They migrate across vast expanses of ocean that are often shared by multiple countries, making it essential for governments and organizations to work together to ensure the whales' safety and protect their migratory routes. With this shared knowledge, scientists can map out the most important migratory corridors, identify critical habitats that must be protected, and better understand how whales interact with the environment and each other. This information has directly led to the creation of marine protected areas, MPAs, and whale sanctuaries, where human activity is restricted to allow whales to migrate freely and without interference. Additionally, tracking the movement of whales allows researchers to advocate for better policies regarding shipping routes, fishing practices, and ocean noise, all of which are essential to protecting whale populations. Despite the advancements in technology, there is still much to learn about whale migration, particularly how these animals adapt to the changing conditions of the ocean. While tracking individual whales provides valuable information, it also raises new questions. For instance, how will rising ocean temperatures impact the food supply available to whales? How will increased shipping traffic affect the migratory paths of whales? These questions are becoming increasingly urgent as we witness the rapid changes occurring in the oceans due to human activity. In order to answer them, we need to continue supporting and funding whale research to ensure that we can take proactive steps to protect these majestic creatures before their migratory routes are irreversibly altered. Scientific research has shown that whale migrations are not just an isolated event. They are part of a complex, interconnected system that includes marine ecosystems, human activity, and global environmental changes. The more we understand these migrations, the better equipped we will be to protect whales and the oceans on which they depend. It is through these efforts that we can ensure that future generations will still be able to witness the grandeur of whale migrations and the beauty of these magnificent creatures as they traverse the vast oceans of the world. As we consider the fascinating and complex migration patterns of whales, another important aspect to explore is the intersection between these majestic creatures and the growing industry of whale watching. Over the past few decades, whale watching has become one of the most popular ecotourism activities, attracting millions of people worldwide. What was once a niche interest has now blossomed into a multi-billion-dollar industry, helping raise awareness about the importance of whale conservation while providing economic benefits to local communities. Whale watching offers people the chance to see these incredible creatures in their natural habitat, creating a direct and intimate connection with the ocean and its wildlife. For many people, witnessing the migration of whales is a life-changing experience, one that fosters a sense of awe and respect for the natural world. But while whale watching provides a unique opportunity for education and appreciation, it also presents its own set of challenges, particularly when it comes to ensuring that human activity does not disturb the very animals it seeks to celebrate. One of the most significant concerns regarding whale watching is the potential impact of boats and ships on the whales themselves. In many areas where whale watching is popular, boats and tour operators often approach whales closely, sometimes getting too close to these animals in an attempt to offer a better view for their passengers. While the intention is typically to enhance the experience for tourists, this close proximity can be incredibly disruptive for the whales, particularly during sensitive times of their migration, such as when they are giving birth, nursing calves, or navigating through feeding and breeding grounds. Whales rely on the vastness of the ocean to navigate and communicate freely. Too many boats and the noise they generate can interfere with the whales' ability to hear their fellow pod members, communicate with each other, and even locate food. Research has shown that increased boat traffic can cause whales to alter their migration routes, abandon feeding grounds, or even become stressed. This stress can negatively affect their health, behavior, and overall well-being, leading to disruptions in their natural life cycles. In addition to noise pollution, the presence of boats and the risk of collisions with ships can pose a serious threat to whales. Ship strikes are responsible for a significant number of whale injuries and deaths every year, and in areas with heavy whale watching traffic, the risk of collision increases. Tourists aboard boats, though often well-meaning, may inadvertently contribute to this problem by crowding around whales and blocking their natural pathways. To address these concerns, it is essential that the whale watching industry be properly regulated. Responsible whale watching practices can help mitigate the negative impacts on whale behavior while still allowing people to experience these incredible creatures up close. Many countries have introduced regulations that limit how close boats can approach whales, and these rules are crucial in minimizing human impact on the animals. For example, boat operators may be required to stay a certain distance from whales, often 100 meters or more, and avoid disturbing them during sensitive times such as when they are feeding or giving birth. In addition to regulations on boat proximity, some regions have implemented guidelines that restrict the number of boats allowed to approach a whale at any given time. By spreading out boat traffic, it reduces the likelihood of overcrowding and minimizes the stress on whales. Other guidelines include minimizing the duration of interactions with the animals, limiting the speed of boats to reduce noise and the risk of collisions, and ensuring that tour operators are trained in responsible whale watching practices. Governments, scientists, and conservation groups are increasingly working together to promote sustainable whale watching and to ensure that this industry contributes to the protection of whales rather than harming them. For example, whale watching organizations like the International Whaling Commission, IWC, and the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, WDC, have developed best practice guidelines that are designed to minimize the disturbance to whales while providing safe and educational experiences for tourists. These guidelines cover aspects such as boat handling, minimum distance from the animals, and the need to respect whales' natural behaviors. Ecotourism, when done responsibly, can be a powerful tool for conservation. The revenue generated from whale watching can provide much-needed funding for marine research, habitat protection, and the establishment of marine protected areas. In many regions, whale watching has become a significant economic driver, creating jobs and supporting local economies, especially in coastal communities. The more people who experience the wonder of whales in the wild, the more likely they are to support efforts to protect them and their habitats. It fosters a sense of stewardship, connecting people to nature and highlighting the importance of preserving the oceans for future generations. Moreover, whale watching can also serve as an educational platform, helping to raise awareness about the challenges whales face, such as climate change, habitat destruction, and the threats posed by human activity. By engaging with tourists and local communities, whale watching operators can educate the public on how to protect whales and their migratory routes. This includes spreading knowledge about the importance of sustainable fishing practices, reducing ocean pollution, and the need to protect key whale habitats. However, to ensure that whale watching continues to contribute positively to conservation efforts, it is essential that the industry is closely monitored and regulated. There needs to be a balance between providing an educational and inspiring experience for tourists while ensuring that the whales are not disturbed or harmed. By working together, governments, scientists, conservationists, and tour operators, we can create a future where whale watching continues to be a force for good, helping to protect whales and the oceans they call home. Ultimately, the success of whale watching as a conservation tool depends on our ability to strike that balance, to honor the incredible migratory journeys of these magnificent creatures while ensuring that human activity, particularly through tourism, does not disturb or harm them. Whale watching can play a crucial role in preserving the migratory paths of whales, supporting local economies, and raising global awareness about the urgent need to protect the oceans. It's a reminder that the story of whale migration is not just a tale of survival. It is a call to action, urging us all to protect these incredible creatures and the oceans that sustain them. As we look deeper into the migratory journey of whales, it's crucial to examine the ecological significance of their travels. Whale migration is not just a journey for survival. It's an ecological event with profound impacts on the environment. These majestic creatures play a vital role in maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems, and their migration is a key component of the ocean's nutrient cycle. Whales, through their migrations, transport nutrients from one part of the ocean to another, helping to foster the growth of marine life and ensure the stability of the food web. One of the most important ecological roles that whales play is in the transfer of nutrients between feeding and breeding grounds. During the feeding season in the colder polar waters, whales consume vast quantities of krill, plankton, and small fish, and store energy in the form of fat. When they migrate to warmer breeding grounds, they release their waste, which is rich in essential nutrients like iron, nitrogen, and phosphorus. These nutrients are crucial for the growth of plankton, the tiny organisms at the base of the marine food chain. Plankton blooms, fueled by these nutrients, form the foundation of the entire oceanic ecosystem, supporting a wide range of marine life, from small fish to larger predators like seals, sharks, and even other whales. In essence, whales act as ecosystem engineers. Their nutrient-rich waste, deposited in different parts of the ocean, stimulates the growth of plankton and other marine organisms, which in turn supports a complex web of marine life. This process is often referred to as the whale pump, where the movement of whales through the oceans helps to fertilize different parts of the ocean, ensuring that the marine food web remains healthy and productive. In a sense, whales are not only the consumers of the ocean, they are also its caretakers, enriching the environment through their travels. Moreover, the large scale of whale migrations has a cascading effect on the ocean's carbon cycle. The excrement of whales contains high levels of carbon, and when they release it into the water, it helps to sequester carbon from the atmosphere. This process contributes to the ocean's role as a carbon sink, helping to mitigate the effects of climate change. The nutrients that whales deposit also promote the growth of phytoplankton, which absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. This creates a feedback loop in which the presence of whales supports the growth of carbon-absorbing plankton, thus playing an indirect yet vital role in reducing the overall carbon footprint of the oceans. Beyond their role in nutrient cycling, whales also help regulate the populations of marine species. As apex predators, they help maintain the balance of fish populations, ensuring that no one species dominates the ecosystem. By feeding on a variety of organisms, whales contribute to the biodiversity of the oceans, supporting the health of the entire marine food chain. This delicate balance is maintained through their migratory journeys, as they move between regions of high productivity and breeding grounds, ensuring that they continue to play their role in the ecosystem. The ecological importance of whales extends beyond just their feeding and reproductive behaviors. Their physical presence in the oceans also creates habitats for other marine species. For example, whales often dive deep into the ocean, stirring up the water and bringing nutrients to the surface. These nutrient-rich waters are then accessible to smaller fish and plankton, contributing to the overall productivity of the ocean. Additionally, whale carcasses, when they die and sink to the ocean floor, provide a unique and valuable habitat for deep-sea organisms. These whale falls support entire ecosystems of scavengers, such as crabs, sea worms, and bacteria that rely on the carcasses for food. In this way, the death of a whale continues to support life in the ocean, ensuring that even after their journey has ended, whales continue to have a profound ecological impact. However, as with every other aspect of whale migration, these ecological benefits are under threat. Climate change, pollution, and the disruption of migratory routes all pose significant risks to the ecological role that whales play. Rising ocean temperatures, for instance, are changing the distribution of plankton and krill, affecting the food supply for whales. As food becomes less abundant or more difficult to access, whales may struggle to complete their migrations, impacting the broader marine ecosystem. Moreover, the increase in ship traffic, noise pollution, and fishing gear entanglement is not only directly harming whale populations, but is also disrupting their role as nutrient distributors in the ocean. The disruption of whale migrations affects not only the whales themselves, but also the entire marine food web that depends on them. If whales are unable to complete their migratory journeys, the nutrients they bring to different parts of the ocean will be lost, leading to a reduction in plankton productivity. This, in turn, could impact the entire oceanic ecosystem, from the smallest plankton to the largest predators. The loss of whales would thus have ripple effects throughout the ocean, affecting countless species that depend on the ocean's health. Recognizing the ecological importance of whale migration is essential for developing effective conservation strategies. Protecting the migratory routes of whales and ensuring that their feeding and breeding grounds remain intact is vital not only for the survival of the whales, but also for the health of the entire marine ecosystem. By safeguarding these migratory paths, we can help maintain the balance of life in the ocean and ensure that the benefits whales provide to the environment continue for generations to come. Conservation efforts must prioritize the protection of whale habitats, the reduction of human-induced threats, and the restoration of marine ecosystems that whales depend on. This means taking bold action to combat climate change, reduce pollution, and protect marine areas from overfishing and habitat destruction. The future of whale migration and the health of the oceans depends on our collective efforts to ensure that these incredible creatures can continue their journeys, enriching the marine environment as they have done for millions of years. Whale migration, then, is not just a remarkable feat of nature. It is a critical component of the ocean's ecological health. These creatures are not only symbols of the power and majesty of the natural world, they are vital players in maintaining the balance of life in the ocean. As we continue to witness the grandeur of their migrations, let us remember the profound role they play in our planet's delicate ecosystem and the responsibility we have to protect them. As we continue our exploration into the intricate and often misunderstood world of whale migration, it's time to address some of the most common misconceptions surrounding these magnificent creatures and their journeys. While the migration of whales is one of nature's most awe-inspiring phenomena, there are still many myths and misunderstandings that cloud our understanding of these journeys. It's important to dispel these myths in order to foster a deeper appreciation and a more informed approach to their conservation. One of the most common misconceptions is that all whale species migrate. In fact, not all whales participate in long-distance migrations. For example, orcas, killer whales, are known for their resident populations in certain regions, such as the waters around British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. These populations remain in the same area year-round because the food supply is abundant and stable enough to sustain them. Unlike migratory species, resident orcas do not follow the traditional migratory patterns of other whale species. Instead, they live a more settled lifestyle with smaller, localized movements between feeding grounds and social areas. This is a stark contrast to the migratory patterns of species like the gray whale or humpback whale, who travel thousands of kilometers each year in search of food and breeding grounds. Another common misconception is that whale migrations are always straight-line, direct paths from one location to another. In reality, whales often take meandering, winding routes that are shaped by environmental factors such as ocean currents, the availability of food, and the changing seasons. This wandering behavior is particularly common in species like humpback whales, whose migratory routes are not always predictable. While some whales may follow relatively fixed routes, many others take a more circuitous path, exploring different areas along the way. This behavior highlights the adaptability and curiosity of whales, as they do not rigidly adhere to a single, fixed migration pattern. Instead, they respond to the shifting dynamics of their environment, following the paths that best suit their needs. Another point of confusion is the misconception that whale migration is always fast-paced and relentless. Many people assume that whales travel at high speeds during migration, given the sheer distance they cover. However, the reality is quite different. The average speed at which most whales migrate is much slower than many expect. The average traveling speed of a whale is between 5 to 10 kilometers per hour, with some species even moving more slowly during certain parts of their journey. This slow, steady pace is not only energy efficient, but also allows whales to take the time they need to find food and rest during their long journeys. Despite their massive size, whales are highly efficient in their movements, conserving energy as they make their way across vast stretches of ocean. Furthermore, some people believe that whales are solitary travelers during migration. While it's true that some whale species, like sperm whales, tend to travel alone or in small groups, many species of whales, such as humpbacks and gray whales, travel in pods or small family groups during migration. These social groups provide important support during the journey, especially for mothers and calves. The bonds formed between pod members during migration can be critical for survival, with whales helping to protect one another from predators and guiding the younger members of the pod through challenging waters. The social nature of whale migration is often overlooked, but it is an essential aspect of their journey. There's also a misconception about the timing of whale migration. While it's true that most whale migrations are linked to seasonal changes, some people believe that all whales leave their feeding grounds at the same time. In reality, whale migrations are often staggered, with different species and even different populations of the same species migrating at different times. For example, gray whales in the eastern Pacific migrate in a more predictable pattern, leaving their feeding grounds in Alaska in the fall and returning in the spring. In contrast, humpback whales may migrate over a longer period, with some populations departing earlier or returning later depending on the conditions of their feeding and breeding grounds. Another widely held belief is that whale migration is a strictly instinctual, automatic process. While instinct certainly plays a role, recent research has shown that whales are also highly adaptable and capable of learning from their experiences. Young whales, for instance, often rely on the knowledge and guidance of older, more experienced pod members during their first migrations. This social learning is an essential part of their development, and it suggests that whale migration is not purely driven by instinct, but also shaped by learned behavior and environmental factors. Finally, many people believe that once whales have completed their migration, they can rest and recuperate until the next season. While migration is certainly a time of rest and replenishment for whales, it's not without its toll. Long-distance migration requires a significant expenditure of energy, and whales often experience physical stress during their journeys. For example, some whales lose up to a third of their body weight during migration, particularly when they travel long distances without food. To counter this, whales make sure to feed and rest during their journey, relying on their fat reserves to sustain them through the leaner parts of their migrations. This stress is particularly evident in calves, who must rely on their mothers for sustenance and protection as they make their first migration. Understanding these misconceptions is essential for our efforts to protect whale populations and their migratory routes. Dispelling myths about whale migration not only enhances public knowledge, but also helps us develop more effective conservation strategies. As we continue to face environmental challenges such as climate change, pollution, and human activity, it is more important than ever that we rely on accurate, scientifically supported information to inform our decisions and actions. Protecting whale migration routes is not only about conserving the species themselves, but about ensuring the health of the ocean ecosystems that they support. By recognizing the complexities of whale migration, we can better appreciate the interconnectedness of life in the oceans and the delicate balance that sustains it. Whales, with their long journeys and remarkable adaptability, are an essential part of the marine environment. Their migrations, though full of challenges and mysteries, are vital to the health of the oceans and the survival of countless marine species. In dispelling the myths surrounding whale migration, we unlock a deeper understanding of these extraordinary creatures and the importance of safeguarding their journeys. As we continue to learn more about the intricate lives of whales, we are reminded of the responsibility we bear to protect them, ensuring that future generations will be able to witness the grandeur of whale migration for years to come. As we move forward in our understanding of whale migration, it's impossible to ignore the critical role of international cooperation in ensuring the survival of these magnificent creatures. The migratory journeys of whales are not bound by national borders. They span vast stretches of ocean, crossing the territorial waters of many countries and even international waters. This creates a complex challenge for conservationists, policymakers, and researchers who must work across borders to protect the migratory routes that whales depend on for survival. One of the key international agreements aimed at protecting whales and managing their populations is the International Whaling Commission, IWC. Established in 1946, the IWC is an intergovernmental organization tasked with the conservation of whale species and the management of whaling. While the primary mission of the IWC initially focused on regulating whaling, it has increasingly shifted its attention to whale conservation, particularly in the context of migration. The IWC plays a critical role in creating guidelines and agreements that ensure the protection of migratory whale species. Through its actions, the IWC has worked to establish whale sanctuaries, regulate whaling practices, and promote the protection of key breeding and feeding grounds. However, the IWC alone cannot address all of the challenges faced by migrating whales. As whale populations travel through the exclusive economic zones, EEZs, of various nations and across international waters, it's essential for countries to collaborate on efforts to protect these animals. Countries like the United States, Mexico, Canada, and others along the Pacific coasts, for example, have worked together to protect migratory routes of the gray whale, establishing protected areas and regulating ship traffic along key corridors. The creation of these protected areas helps to ensure that whales have safe spaces to travel and feed without the threat of human interference or disturbance. In addition to cooperation between countries, local governments and conservation groups are also vital to protecting whale migration routes. The role of local communities in whale conservation cannot be overstated. Coastal communities, particularly those near whale migration corridors, often serve as both stewards of whale populations and as beneficiaries of whale-related ecotourism, such as whale watching. These communities can play a key role in advocating for and enforcing regulations that protect whales, from restricting boat traffic in critical areas to promoting sustainable fishing practices that reduce the risk of entanglements. Whale conservation is a multifaceted effort that requires cooperation across political, geographic, and economic boundaries. The challenges posed by climate change, pollution, and the depletion of natural resources are global in nature, and therefore, they require a global response. This is especially true for migratory species like whales, which depend on a network of habitats and migration routes that span the globe. International agreements like the IWC provide an essential framework for this cooperation. But the real work lies in the willingness of nations and local communities to act together to protect these vulnerable animals. One of the most significant initiatives that has emerged in recent years to safeguard whale migration routes is the establishment of marine protected areas, MPAs, and migratory corridors. MPAs are designated areas where human activities are limited or prohibited in order to protect marine ecosystems. These protected areas are crucial for whales, as they provide safe spaces where whales can feed, breed, and migrate without the threat of disturbance from fishing, shipping, or other industrial activities. Several countries have worked together to create these MPAs along key migratory routes, recognizing the importance of preserving these habitats for the survival of whales. For example, the waters off the coast of Baja California, Mexico, are home to one of the most important gray whale breeding grounds. In collaboration with the IWC and local organizations, Mexico has established protected areas in these waters to prevent disturbance to the whales during the breeding season. These efforts are crucial to the success of the migration, as the safety of the breeding grounds ensures that calves can be born and nurtured without the risks posed by human activities. In addition to marine protected areas, the concept of migratory corridors is gaining traction as a conservation strategy. These corridors are essentially safe passageways that whales use during their migration, and they may extend across multiple countries or even international waters. Protecting these corridors requires a coordinated effort between nations to ensure that whales can travel freely without encountering dangers like ship strikes, entanglement in fishing gear, or habitat degradation. By protecting these migratory corridors, we are ensuring that whales can continue their ancient journeys, which are crucial not only for their survival, but also for the health of the marine ecosystems they support. Alongside these protections, international cooperation is also necessary to tackle the broader issue of climate change, which is perhaps the most significant long-term threat to whale migration. Rising ocean temperatures, shifting ocean currents, and changing food availability are all directly linked to climate change, and these changes have a profound effect on whale migration patterns. By working together on global climate agreements, nations can help mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect the environments that whales depend on. A critical aspect of this global effort is addressing pollution, particularly plastic waste and ocean noise. As whale populations continue to face threats from human activity, international policies and treaties aimed at reducing ocean pollution will play an essential role in preserving their migration routes. Countries must work together to reduce plastic waste in the oceans, limit the amount of noise generated by ships and industrial activities, and regulate the fishing industry to prevent whales from becoming entangled in gear. Public awareness is also a powerful tool in driving international cooperation. The more people understand the challenges faced by migrating whales, the more likely they are to support efforts to protect them. Whale watching, as an ecotourism activity, can serve as an educational platform to raise awareness about the importance of whale conservation and the need for international cooperation. Tourists who visit whale watching sites often leave with a deeper appreciation for the creatures they've encountered and a commitment to helping protect them. In the end, the survival of migrating whales depends on the collective efforts of governments, conservation organizations, local communities, and the global public. By fostering international cooperation, establishing marine protected areas and migratory corridors, addressing the impacts of climate change, and reducing pollution, we can ensure that these magnificent creatures continue their timeless migrations for generations to come. Whale migration is not just a testament to the resilience of life on Earth. It is a call to action, urging us all to protect the oceans and the species that rely on them for survival. As we reflect on the magnitude of whale migrations and the various efforts required to ensure their survival, it's essential to take a closer look at the species that don't undertake these long-distance journeys. While much of the focus tends to be on the iconic migratory species, such as gray whales, humpbacks, and blue whales, there exists a fascinating group of whales that remain resident in certain regions throughout the year. These resident whales, as they are called, present an intriguing contrast to their migratory counterparts. One notable example of non-migratory whales are the killer whales, orcas, found in places like the waters of British Columbia, Canada. These resident orcas do not follow the seasonal migration patterns of other whale species. Instead, they remain in the same region year-round, relying on the abundant local food sources to sustain them. The diet of resident orcas primarily consists of fish, particularly salmon, which are plentiful in the coastal waters. In some regions, the presence of a stable, year-round food source has allowed these orcas to evolve a unique lifestyle that does not necessitate the long migrations observed in other whale species. This adaptation highlights how whales are able to tailor their behaviors and life cycles to their environments, exhibiting the remarkable flexibility of these animals. The reasons for the non-migratory nature of these whales are rooted in their environment. Unlike migratory species, resident orcas have found a habitat that provides all the resources they need. The local waters are rich in prey, and the stable climate allows the orcas to thrive without the need to venture to distant breeding or feeding grounds. This lifestyle is particularly advantageous in regions where resources are consistently available throughout the year, and it helps minimize the energy expenditure that would come with a long migration. This same principle applies to other whale species, such as some populations of sperm whales. Certain groups of sperm whales are known to remain in specific regions, primarily because the deep waters around them are rich with squid, their primary food source. These resident sperm whales do not participate in the long migrations to tropical breeding grounds that are characteristic of other sperm whale populations. Instead, they remain close to the deep ocean basins where food is abundant, demonstrating yet another way in which whales can adapt their life strategies based on their environment. Despite the advantages of staying in one place, non-migratory whales still face many of the same threats as their migratory relatives. For example, while resident orcas may not face the challenges of long-distance migration, they are still vulnerable to the risks associated with human activity, such as pollution, boat strikes, and overfishing of their prey. In fact, the localized nature of these populations can make them particularly vulnerable to human-induced disruptions. When a food source like salmon is threatened by overfishing or habitat degradation, resident orcas may struggle to find enough to eat, directly impacting their survival and reproduction rates. Furthermore, the loss of their natural habitats due to coastal development, industrial fishing, or climate change can have devastating consequences for resident whale populations. For example, the decline of salmon stocks in the Pacific Northwest has been a significant threat to resident orca populations. When their primary food source is depleted, the orcas may be forced to venture into unfamiliar territories, which can be dangerous for these social animals that rely on tight-knit group structures. Despite these challenges, the study of non-migratory whales offers valuable insights into whale behavior and ecology. By understanding how these whales thrive in their localized environments, researchers can gain a deeper understanding of the diverse ways in which whale populations adapt to different ecological niches. This knowledge is crucial for conservation efforts, as it helps to inform strategies for protecting both migratory and non-migratory species. While migratory whales may garner more attention due to their long, dramatic journeys, the study and conservation of non-migratory whales are just as important. These populations contribute to the overall health of marine ecosystems and provide a unique opportunity to study how whales interact with their environment over long periods. The study of resident whales can also help inform the conservation of other marine species that rely on similar habitats, contributing to broader efforts to protect the oceans as a whole. In addition to the biological and ecological value of non-migratory whales, they also hold cultural and historical significance. Many coastal communities have a deep connection to resident whale populations, particularly orcas, which have been a central figure in indigenous cultures throughout the Pacific Northwest. These communities have long revered orcas as symbols of strength, intelligence, and connection to the natural world. The presence of these whales in local waters is not just a biological phenomenon, but a cultural touchstone, tying people to the rhythms of the ocean and the legacy of marine life. The loss of these iconic creatures would be a blow not only to the biodiversity of the oceans, but to the cultural heritage of the communities that depend on them. Therefore, the conservation of both migratory and non-migratory whale populations is vital. While migratory whales depend on a vast network of habitats and international cooperation, non-migratory species like resident orcas and sperm whales show that whales can also thrive in more localized environments. Protecting these diverse populations requires a multifaceted approach, one that considers the unique needs of each species while addressing the broader threats that affect all marine life. This means safeguarding feeding grounds, protecting critical habitats, reducing human impact, and promoting sustainable practices in local communities and industries. The role of non-migratory whales in marine ecosystems cannot be overstated. Whether migrating across entire ocean basins or remaining in one region year-round, whales are keystone species that help regulate the health of the oceans. The protection of both migratory and non-migratory whales is not only essential for the survival of these remarkable animals, but for the preservation of the oceans and the health of the planet as a whole. Through continued research, conservation efforts, and international cooperation, we can ensure that whales, both migratory and resident, continue to thrive in the world's oceans for generations to come. As we now turn our focus to the broader cultural and historical significance of whale migration, it's important to recognize the deep connection that many coastal communities, particularly indigenous peoples, have with these magnificent creatures. Whale migrations are not merely biological events. They are woven into the very fabric of cultures, traditions, and folklore across the world. For centuries, these cultures have observed the rhythms of whale migrations, integrating these majestic creatures into their myths, spiritual practices, and daily lives. One of the most profound connections is seen in the indigenous cultures of the Pacific Northwest, where the orca, also known as the killer whale, holds a special place in the lore and traditions of many Native American and First Nations peoples. Orcas, known as the blackfish, are considered to be deeply spiritual creatures. In these cultures, orcas are often seen as ancestors or guardians of the ocean, embodying power, wisdom, and protection. Their migration patterns have long been observed, not just as a natural event, but as a reflection of the cycles of life, death, and rebirth in the natural world. For these indigenous communities, whale migration is not simply a phenomenon to study. It is a spiritual journey, representing a deep connection to the rhythms of the earth. Many stories tell of the orca's journey through the waters, symbolizing not only the physical migration but also spiritual journeys that reflect transformation and renewal. The connection between these cultures and the orcas is so strong that many indigenous peoples have developed detailed maps of whale migration routes, passed down through generations. These oral traditions are vital to understanding the importance of whale migration beyond the biological level. Whales are seen as part of a larger, interconnected web of life, where humans, animals, and the natural world are all linked. In some coastal regions, particularly in places like Alaska and parts of the Arctic, indigenous communities have historically relied on whales for sustenance, not just through whale watching, but also for the materials obtained from whale hunts. These hunts were conducted with great reverence and respect for the animal, and each part of the whale was used. The blubber provided food and oil, the bones were used for tools and shelter, and the skin was made into clothing. The entire process was a deeply respectful exchange, where the whales were seen as powerful and sacred beings. These practices continue in some communities today, although modern conservation efforts and international whaling regulations have shifted the focus to protecting whale populations rather than hunting them. In the more recent history of whaling, the migration of whales has taken on even greater significance. The advent of industrial whaling in the 19th and 20th centuries led to the near decimation of several whale species. The International Whaling Commission, IWC, was established in 1946, in part as a response to the pressures on whale populations from unregulated whaling practices. The global community's increasing awareness of the dangers posed to whale populations sparked a shift in how these creatures are perceived, not just as economic resources, but as vital symbols of ocean health and biodiversity. Whale migration became a symbol not only of natural wonder, but also of the need for international cooperation to protect these incredible species. As we reflect on the cultural and historical aspects of whale migration, it becomes clear that these creatures are far more than just travelers in the ocean. They represent a deep, spiritual connection to the sea, a connection that has existed for centuries and continues to be honored today. This relationship, however, is not just a cultural or spiritual one. It is a crucial part of the ecological and environmental fabric of the oceans. Protecting the migration routes of whales is not just about saving an animal. It's about preserving a tradition, a heritage, and a natural rhythm that has sustained both people and whales for generations. Today, this cultural connection to whale migration continues to inspire movements to protect whale populations and the oceans that sustain them. Whale watching has become a powerful tool for both conservation and education, raising awareness about the importance of whale migration and the need for sustainable practices. In many regions, whale watching not only brings economic benefits but also fosters a greater appreciation for the animals and their journeys, inspiring the next generation of environmental stewards. However, the challenges that whales face today, including climate change, pollution, and the ongoing threat of habitat destruction, continue to put their migrations at risk. Protecting the migration routes of whales requires more than just scientific research. It requires a cultural and global commitment to understanding and safeguarding these ancient journeys. The preservation of whale migration routes is intrinsically tied to the health of our oceans, and by protecting whales, we are protecting the broader marine ecosystem and the many species that depend on it. The cultural significance of whale migration also highlights the interconnectedness of all living things. Whales, like all migratory species, are part of a larger ecological and spiritual network, where each journey reflects a balance of life, death, and renewal. Their migrations are a reminder of the delicate and intricate relationships that sustain life on Earth. By protecting these creatures and their migrations, we honor the wisdom and traditions of those who have lived alongside them for centuries and ensure that future generations will continue to be inspired by the beauty and power of these magnificent animals. In the end, the migration of whales is not only an ecological marvel, it is a living legacy that connects us all. Whether through the cultural practices of indigenous communities or the global efforts of modern conservationists, the story of whale migration is a testament to the power of nature and the importance of maintaining our bond with the Earth. The journey of the whale is a symbol of resilience, and it reminds us that we too have a role to play in ensuring the survival of these creatures and the protection of the oceans that are their home. As we conclude our deep dive into the world of whale migration, it's important to look toward the future of these magnificent creatures and their long journeys across the oceans. The path ahead is one filled with both challenges and hope, and while we've explored the difficulties whales face, from the threats of climate change and pollution to human activity like shipping and fishing, there is still much we can do to ensure the continuation of their incredible migrations for generations to come. Whale migration, as we've learned, is a fragile and finely tuned system that has evolved over millions of years. It is a cycle of life that has been passed down through countless generations, a rhythm that has sustained these creatures as they navigate the vast, open oceans. However, the oceans that whales rely on are changing rapidly, and with them, the conditions that allow these migrations to thrive. Climate change is perhaps the most significant threat to whale migration, as rising sea temperatures, altered ocean currents, and shifting food availability all affect the delicate balance of the ecosystems that whales depend on. As the oceans warm and the ice melts in the polar regions, whales must adapt to new environments that are no longer as predictable or as rich in the resources they need to survive. The changing availability of food is particularly concerning. As whale populations move between feeding and breeding grounds, the abundance of krill, plankton, and small fish that they rely on is also shifting. Warmer waters and changing currents are disrupting the seasonal patterns of these food sources, making it harder for whales to find the nourishment they need to sustain their long journeys. The impact of these shifts is felt most acutely in the polar feeding grounds, where whales gather in large numbers to build up the energy reserves they need for their migrations. Without a reliable food source, whales may struggle to make the long trek to their breeding grounds, or they may arrive malnourished, which could have serious consequences for their health and reproduction. Pollution is another significant threat that continues to affect whale migration. The oceans are increasingly polluted with plastic, oil, chemicals, and noise, all of which pose a danger to whales and their habitats. Plastic pollution is especially problematic, as whales often ingest plastic debris or become entangled in it, leading to injury or death. The accumulation of toxins in the water also affects the health of the marine life whales rely on for food. Noise pollution from shipping traffic, sonar systems, and industrial activities interferes with whales' ability to communicate, navigate, and find food, further complicating their migration. As the human impact on the oceans increases, so too do the risks to whale populations, and the need for global action to address pollution has never been greater. Yet, despite the challenges, there is reason for hope. The growing global awareness of the importance of whale migration and ocean conservation has led to increased efforts to protect these majestic creatures and their habitats. Governments, conservation organizations, and local communities are working together to create and enforce protections for whale migration routes, such as marine protected areas, MPAs, and migratory corridors. These efforts are essential for ensuring that whales can continue their long journeys without the interference of human activity. By establishing these protected areas, we are not only safeguarding whales, but also helping to preserve the broader marine ecosystem, which is crucial for the health of our planet. International cooperation is also playing a critical role in protecting whale migration. As whales travel across the waters of multiple countries, it's essential that nations work together to protect these migratory routes. Organizations like the International Whaling Commission, IWC, and the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, WDC, are helping to coordinate efforts on a global scale, ensuring that protections for whales are consistent and effective across national borders. The establishment of whale sanctuaries and the enforcement of international regulations on whaling are vital components of these efforts, as they help ensure that whales are protected from both hunting and exploitation. In addition to regulatory efforts, technological advancements are also contributing to whale conservation. Satellite tagging, acoustic monitoring, and DNA analysis are providing researchers with unprecedented insights into whale migration patterns and behaviors. This data allows scientists to track the movements of individual whales, identify key habitats, and better understand the challenges they face during their migrations. With this information, researchers can advocate for stronger protections and more effective conservation strategies, ensuring that the migratory routes of whales remain safe and intact. Public engagement and education also play a crucial role in the future of whale migration. Through ecotourism and whale watching, people are becoming more connected to the oceans and the creatures that inhabit them. As awareness grows, so too does the collective desire to protect whales and their migratory paths. Communities, local governments, and businesses that rely on whale watching for tourism are increasingly adopting sustainable practices that minimize their impact on whale populations. By supporting responsible whale watching and encouraging sustainable practices, individuals can contribute to the protection of these incredible animals. At the same time, the importance of reducing carbon emissions and combating climate change cannot be overstated. The health of our oceans and the survival of whale migration are intrinsically tied to the planet's climate. By addressing the root causes of global warming, we can help mitigate some of the most significant threats to whale populations, ensuring that the oceans remain habitable for future generations of whales and other marine life. The future of whale migration depends on the actions we take today. It is up to all of us, governments, scientists, conservationists, and individuals, to ensure that these magnificent creatures continue to thrive. The protection of whale migration routes is not just about saving whales. It is about preserving the delicate balance of life in the oceans, ensuring the health of marine ecosystems, and safeguarding the biodiversity of our planet. Every effort, no matter how small, can contribute to the protection of these ancient journeys. As we conclude this exploration of whale migration, we are reminded of the resilience and beauty of these creatures and the profound connection between their migrations and the health of the oceans. The whale's journeys are a symbol of the natural world's timeless rhythms, a reminder of the power of adaptation and survival. By protecting their migrations, We are protecting the oceans and the delicate ecosystems that depend on them, ensuring that future generations will continue to witness the grandeur of whale migrations for years to come.